Hey guys, so last time, what do we do? Last time, fucking shit happened. So, ranged combat. Gavin spread some more time at the firing range, increasing her ranged combat skill and her SMG specialization by 1. That's it. Just summoning them. I'll go with this. Can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. Detonate at will, not detonate at espionage. Blaster 1.0 program, an arcade version of Blaster that also sticks enemies in place for 1 round. I guess this is her whole alert system. Gains a bright light system, Cyber Eye. This is... I mean, I don't feel like I'll ever be good at the new hacking minigame. I'm not complaining about the game, I just know me, that I'm not good. So... what do I want? 4... This is really tempting, it seems like it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll go with this. Ability that fires a single shot of incendiary ammo. It doesn't... Balances target. I think I have a... I think I feel... I know a little bit more about this game than I would if I were going in truly blind. I haven't played this game before. But I know that there's another party member who has an ability where stun damage is really good if I looked at that ability right. So... I'll go with that. Alright. Alright. I have some karma myself. Didn't quite know where I wanted to put it. Next one's for attributes. I'm gonna get greedy. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner like you just did a couple seconds ago, the screen will open the new Crew Advancement menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level, you may choose 1 or 2 possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Alright. I know that. Can I get Cyberware now? That is literally what this character is all the fucking about, if you couldn't tell. Alright, you again? I thought I told you to fuck off. Kindly will vouch for me. Yeah, you just idle your engine there for a minute and I'll check on that. There's a long silence on the intercom. The door gives several heavy metallic clicks. There's a dull rumble, like heavy bolts sliding back. A green light flashes on the terminal. The door appears to be unlocked. You can enter the clinic. He's paranoid, isn't he? Oh, how ironic. 10-armed Ambrose. Looks like he's in a wheelchair. This clinic looks like it just hosted a party. Spindly mechanical arms swing from unobtrusive wall mounts, pulling down crepe paper ribbons and swooping food platters and empty beer bottles into biohazard bags. The severely crippled Caucasian man sits in a wheelchair amidst the maelstrom of mess and robotics. He's in his 40s, thick beard, tungsten earrings, beer belly, one cyber eye. Both his legs are missing, one at the hip, the other at the knee. He has only one arm, and only 3 fingers remain on his surviving hand. His face and arm show the scars of reconstructive surgery. Jesus Christ, dude. He grins wild at you, regarding you with bloodshot eyes. He's clearly hungover. 10-armed Ambrose. Hey, I'm Ambrose. He shouts cheerfully in English, his words pulling together in a loose Midwestern accent. They call me 10 Arms. Welcome to Hong Kong, fellow UCASian. Eucasian. He chuckles, his chest shaking with mirth. A Waldo arm springs to life and swings over to him. Its menacing metal... Oh, I bet he's a rigger. Waldo arm springs to life and swings over to him. Its menacing metal pincer momentarily sets a cigarette between his lips, just long enough for him to inhale from it. Kindly says, "You're all right. What can I do for you?" You're a doctor? Why so fortified? Are you kidding? Have you any idea how much all this stuff in here is worth? This is a highly capital operation, and life's dangerous for a guy missing most of his members. Tooling up smugglers and criminals. Fair enough. Let me tell you what, though. If someone busts in here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Ambrose chuckles evilly. There's a lot more than pipes and wires up in the false ceiling, and I've got Kindly's crew and the Club 88 boys on the panic button. They know which side their bread is chromed on. Right? What'd you think of trying to knock me over, right? You're a doctor? Sure, I'm a rigger doctor, a Roctor. Yes, I knew it. Ambrose bursts into laughter, then stops and clutches his head. Oh man, I cannot laugh hard today. Too much partying last night. It hurts. Alright. So, why doesn't he have... Is he the only person in town? Oh, I bet he's the only person who can install cyberware. So he can't install it on himself. Actually... He probably, maybe he could, I don't know. Man, I can't. I'm not board certified, but don't worry, I should be. I'm full-on skilled, my work is Yellow Lotus guaranteed, and precisely in accordance with World Medical Association standards. Everybody in Haoi comes to me, because I'm the only option. Yep, everyone's chose like very well, Roctor. Right on. Let's get you tricked out, unless you just want the bullshit, which I'm down for, too. Alright. What do you do here? What do I do? Tune-ups and engine rebuilds on your ass. I do it all. First aid, second aid, surgery, cybernetics, obstetrics, euthanasia. I'm your one-stop shop for health and beauty. Well, maybe not beauty. Can you stun with combat wear? You know it. You got the coin and the essence. I'll trick you out like a bulldozer with ground effects and a turret. I've got it all. Bionic limbs, wired reflexes, Decker wear, blood filters, synthetic muscle, bone lacing, greased bearings, ground effects, tight bolts. The full range of Chrome Alley services is something that we'd like to keep beneath the radar. Ambrose winks. What sort of mechanical services do you offer? Oh yeah, it offers riggers shit and Decker shit. But nothing you'd be interested in right now. I'm mostly doing engine mechanics and electrician stuff. I send maximum law and reliable Matthew any work they can handle. It's really just a hobby and service to the community. I make my nut with the clinic. Looks fondly over the massive, partially assembled V8 engine occupying part of the operating theater. That baby's gonna be a goddess when I'm done with her, alright? Number 2 is a bold-faced fucking lie. Let's talk about something else. Sure thing, you don't mind if I keep cleaning while we talk, do you? Because I'm gonna. Ambrose bursts into laughter at his own joke. The splendidly robotic arms around you redouble their sweeping and swiping, alright? Sure thing. Tune up or spare parts. Cyberware. Alright, and I have... I never gave him my name. Okay, I got 2,000. Cyberware. To give the user more control over passive, +1 throwing weapons. Set to grab skill wires, +1 quickness and 1 to range combat. Does not help me. Shiawase bone lacing plastic, +1 body. Run rocking skill wires. Dodge. I think I already have this. Requires Cyber Affinity 1. I have Cyber Affinity 1, I'm pretty sure. It's combat skill for accuracy and Cyber Affinity for critical. I think I already have this installed. Okay. Combat skill for accuracy and Cyber Affinity for critical chance. Damage +4, causes 1. I think this basic cyber has +6 to hit. Has technology cyber leg basic. Okay, variety +6 HP, 1 quickness. Limb, 6 HP, 1 armor. I'm not going to use a data DAC. Okay, this is how much new yen I have. I didn't have to exit out. Do I want... Do I want to save my money? I thought about what I'd get. I looked at the wiki and I thought about what I'd get if I had, like, all the money, but I guess money's gonna come, but... this could be useful. When all things considered, I'm relatively tanky, so if I... That doesn't add any new, like, exciting abilities or anything, but nothing does right now. It's all passive abilities, which aren't necessarily bad. They're not quite as exciting. I mean, hitting better is good. Not getting hit better is good, so I'll just go for that. Cyberware causes essence loss. The effects of the magic rating of your character, as magic is equal to essence rounded down. Magic is very important for spellcasters. The base number of spell slots available to the caster is equal to half of their magic rounded down. Therefore, losing essence can cause spell slots to be permanently lost. In addition, each point of magic lost increases all spell cooldowns by +1, causing a spell. I have less than 1 essence, and I can't fucking cast spells, and I don't intend to for this character unless I literally max out everything else, and I somehow have more karma than I know what to do with. Then maybe I'll fuck with that. But yeah, confirm. Alright. Come back to the garage soon. Show me your services. Medical supplies. I got only 300 new. Talk to you later. Oh, I even got the... You can even see it. Dodge. 3 to hit. One to dodge. All right. Bonus all non-magical range attacks at close range. So which one of these unlocks over watch? Okay, that one. This means it's augmented. Your cyberware, right? It's good to increase this just for, like, avoiding getting... It's a hit with hermetic spells. Certain magical attacks, yeah. Alright. Maximum law. Overhead, a gigantic holocene shines like a searchlight, screaming its message through the dim light. It hums and flickers, sputtering like an old engine. Fierce electrical crackles sporadically burst out of the sign's emitter, stabbing your eyes and filling your ears with static. Under the baleful glare of the sign, the rusty mini-barge's deck is stacked with electronics, dilapidated stereos, sheer space with crisply box servers, ranks of disks and memory chips fill display cases padlocked under plexiglass. A short human in his late 20s stands in the middle, hands on his hips, talking loudly into the air. Bulky virtual reality goggles cover his eyes. A data jack cable runs from his temple down his stained t-shirt to a belt load of clearly home-built computer hardware. Okay, this is the Decker guy if we were building that. No, I'm telling you, his voice is shrill, clipped. Nobody uses KM3s like nobody, they're shit. I don't care what Dang says. If Shiawase SRP uses KM3s, they're stupid. Hey, flesh is rolling up, I gotta go. Alright. He turns to face you, and goggles blank and enigmatic, blinking with tiny lights and wrapped in duct tape. He points at your PDA. I ripped that PDA. You work for Kindly. Yes. His lips work impatiently. Yo, what do you want? Right, this PDA, tell me about it. It was a Fuji Azura Star 3. They use a Scarab chip, which is good, but the motherboard is wet noodles and sprouts. I pulled out the trackers and installed encryption. Now it runs on the Wampoa virtual network. The corpse and cops can't crack it, can't track it. Links to the PDA. This work. He shrugs dismissively. It's what we do. This is Law's Technology Palace, satellite territory of Wampoa. You step on the boat. You're in a sovereign state. I represent Wampoa here. My maximum law. He drops his up proudly, setting his hands on his hips. The maximum law, yo. Yes. One of these guys. You got a tech problem? Boom, I solve it. You need software? Boom, done. But don't waste my time. So you got any business at Wampoa right now? If not, keep moving, alright? Found this while poking around the walled city. Worth anything? He scans the chip's casing with a handheld optical reader. Yo, this shit is banned. Lifted off some Yellow Lotus. They traffic this stuff. Delimited SIM chips, full sensory experiences. You looking for a buyer? I can make it happen. How's 120 Nuyen sound? Sure, take it. Hope it finds a good home. Because it's robo drugs. Yeah, well, I'll sample it first. But these Hots can send you for a trip. Don't worry, I can handle my Sims. Alright. That's an amazingly ostentatious holocene you've got there. Yo. Maximum Law looks up at the gigantic blue-white letters with deep satisfaction. It's pretty boss. Yeah, pretty boss. That must cost you a small fortune in electricity. Whatever, I'm not paying for it. Half of Hayoi gets its juice from a pirate tap on a big Mitsuhama DC cable under the river. Mitsuhama's like, his voice winds up into a mocking whine. Oh, let's run 2 million volts from the cold fusion plant to the island, under the river. Those slum monkeys can't tap an underwater cable. Idiots. You know who built the tap that pulls electricity off that cable? Wampoa. You know whose barge holds the transformer mine. So Wampoa's have it. Maximum Law thrusts his fist high in the air in silent victory. Cheap power for all and a whole lot extra for me. Behold the lighthouse of Boom. Are you wearing VR goggles? It's not VR, it's augmented reality. We're pioneering it. Little cameras, matrix overlay. I can support a three-dimensional HUD and sub-windows with live multiple feeds. I've got a command shell open right now. I'm networking with 5 guys. Wave of the future. Alright. Sounds interesting. It is. Law says it with supreme confidence, a statement of perfect fact. Looks like you've got some dangerously exposed wires over there. Yo, what are you, my mother? Law regards you with a skeptical disgust. Those wires are fine where they are, high and dry. They're only a problem of someone who does something stupid. Okay. I'm running a high bandwidth tech operation. Do I look like I have to tape copper and sip tea? No, I don't. Law wraps his knuckles fiercely on a clearly topped case full of buses, cables, and cable harnesses. These are the only wires you need to think about, right? Might as well look at what's there. Yeah, I can't use any of this shit because I am not a... I can't decking or data jacking worth shit. I mean, I'll say like this game. These games are definitely like worth. See you later, law. Yeah, whatever. These games offer a lot of replay value, at least in terms of like play style. Oh yeah, don't mess with the law. Okay, that's what that's about. Okay, law is Techno Palace. That. There's a hatch. A Ractor. It's oppressively hot down here, and the air is full of synthetic odors that grab you by the sinuses and refuse to let go. You can smell engine grease and melting plastic, ionized air, and lead solder. A quick scan of the room tells you why. The downstairs tenant has converted this space into a machine shop. Metal fabrication tools and duraplastic extruders line the walls, and a pair of heavily industrialized manipulators hang from the ceiling. A man in a black trench coat stands with his back to you, staring at a monitor mounted above a sturdy workbench. He addresses you without turning. I was wondering when I meet the new neighbor. His voice is pleasant, cultured. There's a hint of a Russian accent there, but it's buried under layers of nuance. Please, stay where you are. I'll be with you in just a moment, and unless you fancy an unplanned trip to Crum Alley, don't touch anything. There are all manner of tools in here that could take your hand clean off. Thanks for the warning. Don't mention it. I have no interest in seeing anyone hurt at my shop, especially not my upstairs neighbor. Yeah, the robotic arms mounted to the ceiling. You focus on the enormous manipulator arms that you saw earlier. They're bulky, industrial things, dented from years of heavy use. Each arm has been fitted with at least a dozen different welders, soldering guns, extruders, and metal fabrication tools. You've seen machinery like this in factories before, but they look terribly out of place in the bolt-holes cramped engine room. Very good, yes, it's coming along nicely, very nicely indeed. He turns towards you, smiling for the first time. You can see his face. He has broadly handsome Slavic features and a chiseled jaw. His eyes are like flecks of ice. So sorry to have you kept you waiting, miss. No problem, don't worry about it. You're too kind. Now tell me, what can I do for you? His voice trails off as a flash of motion catches his eye. With alarming speed, a sinister-looking drone scuttles out from under the work table. Its movements are surprisingly agile and fluid. The machine rears back menacingly, spreading its forelegs in a clear sign of aggression. The man's smile tilts, and his tone goes apologetic. Please don't mind the drone. It can be territorial, but so long as you remain civil, he will not bite. He extends a hand. Simultaneously, the drone relaxes into a neutral position, lowering its killing legs. Ractor, my mechanical counterpart here, is called Cochet. Shake his hand a pleasure. His hand is rough and abnormally warm to the touch. He shakes your hand with a solid grip. I'm very pleased to meet you, my friend. In communities such as Haoi, it's important to be on good terms with one's neighbors. Questions? You have the time. He glances back at the bracer on his forearm. A technical display winks to life, then gutters out. Very well. The morning's casting should still be cooling for a few minutes yet. That's time enough to talk. Alright. What did you mean? What casting? What do you mean? Exactly what I said. A casting that I made of a new locomotive assembly for Cochet. Just as a display above the work table. A biometric design, as you can see. This one is inspired by the walking legs of a decapod crustacean, the mangrove crab to be specific. No parts in here? That's fascinating. Will this new leg assembly make your drone more effective? That remains to be seen, but there is more to life than combat effectiveness, is there not? By fabricating new components for Cochet, I unlock options, different ways of being, even the failures. And there have been many. Have value in this context. Like a true scientist. How did you learn to do all this? More training experience than I care to mention. He offers you a wry smile. Drone architecture was once my profession. You see, now it's more of a calling, one that I'm free to pursue now that I've freed myself from the shackles of corporate servitude. Cochet is an interesting name for a drone. Yes, I suppose that it is. Not many riggers would name their most prized possessions after a villain from a fairy tale. I nod to my heritage, I suppose. I don't have any etiquettes. What was the fairy tale about? A thoroughly unpleasant person. Cochet the Deathless, he was called, and for good reason. His soul was cleverly hidden outside of his body, and he could not be killed so long as it remained intact. There's lots of... studied a little bit of, like, mythology. There's lots of little stories like that. I guess that's where they got the idea for liches from. Cochet was a villain and a notorious kidnapper of women, but something about him always stuck with me. I suppose that it was the notion of immortality through cleverness that resonated. There was something to be learned from that, I was sure. And so when it came time to name my beloved creation, his was the first name that came to mind. And is your drone deathless like its namesake? In a manner of speaking, I suppose that he is. I have redundant copies of every piece of his architecture. His core programming is stored on a disk in a secret location. Should he ever suffer critical damage, I can easily bring him back. I had a plan once to automate the self-repair process. I must confess I was really quite ingenious, but alas, my research was lost. One day I will reclaim it, and Cochet will become as deathless as the stories claim, but it will not be today. And that... side quest. You've got some interesting machinery in here. Not the kind that you typically see outside of corporate settings. He smiles. The same could be said of many in Haoi. I'm sure this is a smuggler's den, is it not? Our entire economy is based on people having things that they shouldn't. Is there a particular device that interests you out of curiosity? The robotic arms that you've got over there, they look like something taken from an automotive assembly plant. He smiles, flashes brilliantly in the light. Good guess, that's precisely what they are. They fell off a boat, you might say. They weren't cheap, but I acquired them and had them mounted to the walls of my shop. I simply had to have them. The return on investment has been dramatic, yes. They're cruder by far than the Waldo devices that I used in my professional life. But they still do the job, and they are mine. He grazes, leveling at the industrial arm, still smiling. They've increased my fabrication capabilities nearly tenfold, and that to me is worth any price. Are you Russian? I thought I caught a hint of an accent there. He nods. You have a good ear, I'm impressed. Yes, I grew up in Nizhny Novgorod. Went to school there, I started my career there in the industrial sector. A fairly common story, I'm sure, but I've also traveled a great deal, and in so doing I've absorbed a number of other languages and dialects. How many languages do you speak? Counting Russian and Cantonese, 15, he shrugs apologetically. Shames me to admit that I'm only literate in 12, however. It's still impressive. Don't bother learning all that organically. With the right note sauce, you can speak as many languages as you like. You're either way too hard on yourself or acting ashamed to cover the fact that you're bragging. It would be interesting. I don't know if he's bragging or not. I'm inclined to think he's as smart as he's... For some reason, I'm inclined to think that he is that smart. But I don't know. Don't bother learning that organically with the right no sauce. I mean, for all I know, he does use the no sauce. Still impressive. Perhaps when compared to the common man, but I've known a great many polyglots who can and do put me to shame. He gives you another half shrug, and Koschei mirrors the gesture. Arabic has been a particular bugbear of mine. The unfamiliar characters and lack of vowels make it damn tricky to get a handle on, but I suppose that all men have their limits. Yeah, I heard that. Like, Arabic is like... It's not like really a proper alphabet. Like, they only write consonants. I think Hebrew's like that, too. But Hebrew and Arabic are actually related. They're both Afro-Asiatic languages. Anyway. Alright. You said that you used to work for Corp. Whose payroll were you on? He sighs. That is something of a sore subject. My departure was involuntary, you see. I did not part ways with my employer under the best of terms. I will tell you that I worked for Grecian Aviacorps, but you'll forgive me if I don't want to go into detail. Can't be cheap, how can you afford it? Freelance. At the risk of sounding immodest, I've commodified myself rather well. There are always corporations in need of design consultations. You'd be surprised by how lucrative such work can be. There's always other work that I can turn to in a pinch. Could you tell me what kind? Said you did other work. Alright. He pauses, and for a second something flashes in his eye. Koschei lowers its body into a crouch. A rather personal question, wouldn't you say? Maybe, but then we're having a personal conversation. Indeed we are. But even in personal conversations, certain topics can be held off limits. Truth be told, I don't feel especially comfortable discussing my side work with relative strangers. Suffice it to say that my freelance activities often fall on the illicit end of the spectrum. Tell you what, I'm just going to guess you're a Shadowrunner, aren't you? He gives you a shallow nod. I dislike the term, but yes, I run the shadows. What gave me away? I'll build murder bots for fun. Apartments in Victoria Harbor. Maybe a reason for that. Design consultants live in apartments in Victoria Harbor. You're living in a rusted out boat in Hayo. There's got to be a reason for that. You're drawing people on the up and up. Don't build murder bots for fun. I won't be too crude. That'll be a reason for that. He shrugs. You are correct, of course. The residents of shadow communities are usually either too poor to live elsewhere or engage in behaviors too illicit to risk it. I will admit to being in the latter camp. Designing robotics is my passion, but it doesn't always pay the bills. He runs a hand over Koschei's armored chassis, carrying the sculpted metal with its fingertips. My status as a foreigner has proven something of an impediment in this regard. And so sorry as I may be to say it, the lion's share of my income flows from Koschei's aptitude for butchery, such as life, I suppose. We do what we must to do what we love, yes. I pool our resources and work together. Seems like everybody on this boat runs the shadows. Why not pool our resources and work together? He purses his lips, considering. A compelling offer. I'm doing quite well on my own, but I must admit that there are certain jobs for which I am unsuited. Magic eludes me, and I'm not a decker. My strength comes from material objects in the real world, solid things with mass and heft, things that I can build and operate. Sadly, a great many clients are only interested in teams that display a mastery over the intangible. This group of yours, it's weird, like, he's fucking, like, lives downstairs. We never fucking talked to him and figured out that we're both fucking... I mean, kindly if anybody would fucking know that he's a Shadowrunner. And it just makes sense to pull us together. This group of yours, do you have people who can cover these bases? If so, then perhaps we can help each other out. Right beneath our feet. Confident at their jobs. How can you not already know that? You live right beneath our feet. A shaman and a decker are both competent at their jobs. In that case, I will accept your offer on a provisional basis. We'll do a few runs together and see what we get on. If our association bears fruit, it will continue. If not, I will bid you my farewell and go back to working alone. How does that sound? Welcome aboard. Very good, excellent. When you receive a job, you know where to find me. My skills and resources are at your disposal. With that, I'm afraid that I must bid you good day. I still have work to do. Down here, this leg assembly won't clean itself. I'll be in touch, looking forward to working with you. And I with you. Open door. Ah, yes. Predator. Rocters drone Crochet gains a plus 5% accuracy boost for all attacks. Mangler. Rocters drone Crochet gains plus 1 movement speed, moving 7 tiles per 1 AP. I don't know what he normally moves at. If I remember, aim on drones. When I've used them before, always seem to not be great, so I might just go with this. The door. Isabel have anything to talk about? Isabel's cabin is an exercise in controlled chaos. Her living space is utterly dominated by enormous jury-rigged computers, serpentine cables snake from component to component, trying dozens of obsolete terminals and cyberdecks together into a single colossal machine. This is my personal machine. If you're looking for mission computer, it's downstairs. If she doesn't bother looking up, you could see that she's elbowed deep in the guts of an obsolete cyberdeck. One of a half dozen that have been wired into her computer with braided cables. Got a second? Got a second. There's a long pause, then she chirps out a response. We're talking now, aren't we? All right. Any questions? Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Deck. Have you been having weird dreams recently? Her body goes still. Yes, I think that everybody does. Me too, I've been having horrible nightmares. I know, it happens more often than you'd think. She tilts her head in the direction of the walled city. This kind of mass psychosis was common where I grew up. Everybody got it. What is it? What's causing it? I don't know. So she begins rummaging again through the guts of the obsolete cyberdeck again. I don't think I want to. Care to tell me about it? She's my pet project. I call her the octopus. She waves a hand at the tangle of thick power cables that radiate from the machine's central core. You might be able to guess why. Did you do all this by yourself? She yanks a fried chip from the deck's motherboard and neatly sets it aside, then fumbles in a nearby bin for replacement. I had to make do with whatever I could find as a kid. It taught me a lot about being self-sufficient. What is this thing made of? Whatever I could find. Busted terminals, obsolete cyberdecks, aftermarket memory from Maximum Law's dumpster. Scavengers would kill for this stuff in the walled city, but out here, people throw it away. She chuckles to herself as she eases a card into an empty expansion slot. Most deckers are early adopters. They buy whatever's newest, shell out huge amounts of new yen in hopes of riding the bleeding edge. Stupid. Why? Because I can have 5 of last year's models for a quarter the price of that new cyber deck. And after I've finished daisy chaining them together, the machine that I built will run circles around your hot new deck. Yeah. Carry it, yes. Yeah, and you'll need a flatbed truck to carry it, yes. Do we look like we're hurting for space to you? She rummages in a bin to her left and pulls out a stick of solid-state memory. It disappears into the deck she's working on. I've got a whole boat to work with, your cabin included. If I told Gobbet I needed it. Alright. If I guessed, I wouldn't mind. Long pause, huh? Well, I was joking, but if you're really okay with it, I might someday. We'll see. About your portable gear, your cyberdeck software, that kind of thing. It gets the job done. Might not be top of the line, but I'm comfortable using it in the field. If you should happen to come across any more advanced hardware or software, either on the job or on the discount rack at Law's Techno Palace, I'm not above taking donations, but barring that, I'm fine with using what I've got. Your call. Can we talk about the ambush of Victoria Harbor? I'd rather not. I lost friends there. Maybe they shot Carter down, same as your friends. Was she your friend? You didn't seem that close. She turns her attention to the octopus, turning her back to you. Think about yourself, alright. You get to know you better tell me something about yourself. Something. She pauses for a moment. Okay, I don't mind small talk. Does that count? Sure, it tells me that you don't want to be social. Look, it's nothing personal. I just don't think I'm a very interesting person. Sorry if that disappoints you. Things other than your computer very much, do you? There's a long pause before she responds. What she does, she sounds vaguely hurt. I prefer not to. Nothing personal, just the way that I am. Wrong with that. So, I just want to know who I'm running with, don't you? Yes, you're still a mystery to me. There's a long pause. I don't like mysteries, but I do enjoy solving them. All right, Velma. She turns, giving her full attention. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a question, something personal. After you've given me an answer, you get to ask me something. Fair enough. Do you think of it like a game of questions? We take turns until one of us wants to quit. Deal. Deal. You go first. Ask away. So this is your face. We'll start off easy. Tell me tell me what you really think about Duncan. He's like a brother. He's like a brother to me. He'd be a pain in the ass, but he's like a brother to me. Interesting. Rise, flit to the doorway of Gobbet's cabin. The corner of her mouth it tilts upward with a slight smile and a little familiar. Well, you've answered my question, I guess. Makes it your turn. How long have you been? Where did you and Gobbet meet? Her bride's found after a moment. She screws her eyes shut. We met as kids in the walled city. My prison was her playground. Alright. Sorry if that was uncomfortable for you. Okay, Isabel? Of course, I'm okay, I'm fine. She just gazed back at the octopus. I just have a hard time remembering those days. My childhood is kind of a blur. And that would make it my turn. She pauses, considering. Tell me, what was your connection to Raymond Black? He was like a father to me and Duncan. He got us out of the Barrens. In that case, I'm sorry for your loss. Losing the ones that you love is hard. Your turn. Ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. How long have you been running the Shadows with Gobbet? That's a good question. I guess about 4 years now. A decent stretch by anyone's reckoning. It's back to my turn. Just as the cabin walls around you, you enjoy it, don't you? Living like this, working the shadows. This is survival. I do what I have to. Come into it. How do I want to answer this? I don't want to like disrespect Raymond or. Yeah, this is survival. I do what I have to. Enjoyment doesn't come into it. She blinks. We have more in common than I thought. Your turn again. Go ahead, ask me something. Where did you learn to deck? The Wampoa. I lived there for a while after escaping the walled city. The people there were difficult. We didn't get along, but it was a great place to learn. Okay, Wampoa is a real play. I thought, like, Maximum Law was just being an asshole and Wampoa was his boat, and he was trying to declare it a sovereign nation, but I don't think that's the case. Difficult, we didn't get along, but it's a great place to learn. My turn again. Her head tilts as she studies your face, and I think my last question for you. You're stuck here, marooned, you and Duncan both. He's obviously too unhappy with the situation. He keeps going on about the things that he left behind, but what about you? Is there anything that you want to get back to? Carry on. Nothing worth mentioning, truth be told. I'm enjoying the change of scenery. Nothing? There isn't anything about your old life that you'll miss? I don't know whether to envy you or feel sorry for you. This is down at the clock on her desk, an antique model with physical hands that look like it was wrenched out of a submarine. A frown spreads across her face. Shit, it's even later than I thought, and I've still got a long way to go before the octopus is fixed. Alright, she begins to turn away, her attention fixed on the stack of parts and disassembled cyberdecks are right in front of me. Aren't you forgetting something? She stops at place, fidgets. If you got another question, go ahead and ask, but it better be quick. I need to tell me what you can about the walled city. She doesn't like it. Her voice goes cold. Why? To go in there. Somebody destroyed my life to keep him from doing that, alright? Because Raymond Black wanted to go in there and somebody destroyed my life to keep him from doing that. Her cheeks flush just like they did the last time. She averts her eyes. No, I'm sorry, but no. Later, maybe, but not now. Alright. Alright, Isabel. Maybe next time. Work to do. Blinking, she turns away and buries herself in the octopus displayed innards. Please excuse me, I have work to do. What if she molested or something? Jesus. Alright. Gobbet's nest is pretty much what you'd expect. Piles of clothes on the ground, an overflowing garbage bin surrounded by stacks of instant noodle packets and towers of tinned oysters, avant-garde posters haphazardly thumbtacked to the walls, overlapping in some places and peeling in others. It feels a lot like an art school dorm room. My brother was one of those. Gobbet reclines in a corner, cradling a bowl of soup in her hands. At her feet, a cast iron pot simmers away an electric hot plate. The contents are typical Hong Kong comfort food: chicken-style soya broth, elbow macaroni, tinned ham. Ham is in quotation marks. And a heaping scoop of egg-flavored mycoprotein. As you wind your way through the piles of dirty laundry, Gobbet slowly lifts her head from her bowl to acknowledge you. Hey, Seattle. She chews on the words along with a mouthful of cheap pasta. A corner of her mouth curls up into a half smile. House tricks. I mean, Seattle. Something better than that. Better things have been worse. That's the attitude. Very stoic, very strong. It's downright inspiring. She skims an oily slab of faux ham on the top of her soup and pops it into her mouth. Now, I want to tell me what you're doing in my bedroom. I'm assuming you're not here to admire the view. Bad ones. How did you decide on the name Gobbet, anyway? I didn't. She pops a noodle in her mouth and chews. My mom did. Give a name. Wad of meat. Oh, is that what a Gobbet is? I didn't know what a Gobbet is. So Gobbet is your given name? Your mother named you after a wad of meat? She shrugs. Yeah, sure. I don't think she knew what it meant. She just thought that it sounded pretty. You should get used to that. By the way, people here in Hong Kong like to stand out. Here in Hong Kong like to stand out, and choosing unique names is one of the ways that they do it. Like bad ones. Her jaw stops working mid-chew, so she nods. Yeah, I have. We all have everyone in town. The same nightmare. She was odd. Doesn't that strike you as odd? Sure it does, but then lots of odd stuff happens in Haoi. She casts a furtive glance over her shoulder. In case you hadn't gotten the memo, we aren't in the best part of town. In all seriousness, the dreams are coming from inside the walled city, I'm pretty sure of that. All of the negative energy pent up in there, all of that pain and anger and poisonous chi, it's leaking out, and while we sleep, it's getting into us. If you're so sure of that, why stay in Kowloon? Why not pack up and leave? I think this is a magical phenomenon, then? Yeah, I think it is. Want my personal opinion? The walled city is cursed. Deep down, I think that everybody knows it, and we live in its shadow. That's bound to mess with your head, you know? It is. But they're just dreams. It's not like they can hurt us, right? If I say who says they can't, that sounds like I'm being a negative Nancy. And I'm the leader, and being a leader means you have to tell happy lies to people to keep them functional. If you say so. Who tries on a smile, fails, does her best to laugh it off. Don't worry, Seattle, we're fine here. But it's about something else, huh? I don't really think about the walled city very much. Too many old fears and bad feelings. Wish back on that docks with you. Yeah, she nods slowly, frowning. Yeah, I figured you would. That was a hell of a thing, right? You could say that. You could say that. It was fucking awful. Nightjar and Gutshot were two of the strongest men I've ever known. Quality Shadowrunners, both of them. I've watched those two fight through situations that'd kill anyone and come out on top, and how do they go out? Snipers. She mimes holding a rifle and makes a show of peering down the scope. Bang, bang, dead. Dead. No blaze of glory, no final speech, just extinguished, smashed like bugs. So lucky. We'd gone the same way if you hadn't gotten us out of there. Out of there. Jackson mildly raises her bowl to her shoulder. A rat crawls over the slope of her back and lowers its head to lap at the broth. It was more rat than me. She's the one who grabbed me by the gut and led us to that sewer entrance. All I did was follow her. I'd like to learn more about Rat. What kind of totem is she? Drips thoughtfully at her soup. A clever one. She's gotten me out of more trouble than I care to mention. Got me into a fair amount of it too. But I can always count on her to lead me out of the hot water when I need her to. I can feel it in my belly, you know? Sort of tugging sensation. Long since learned to follow it. The control of their shamans. I wasn't aware that tombs control their shamans. Usually they don't. Me and Rat, we have a sort of a special bond. She takes care of me, and I've always done my best to take care of her. Another pair of beady eyes blinks up at you from Gobbet's hip. A second rat scurries up her shoulder to join the first, and to pamper. Earthly children like these two meet madness and folly. Are they just normal rats then? I thought they might have been spirits or something. Nope, just rats. She brushes her fingers across the white rat's mottled coat. Don't just follow, she bites. All right. You always let your rats drink out of your own bowl. She shrugged, sure, why not? We're all part of the same nest. Anything else, I guess. I mean, she might have just a good immune system, I guess. Makes as much sense as anything else, I guess. Of course it does. Besides which, I get shot at for a living. I've got bigger things to worry about than a few stray hairs in my noodles. And you come across madness and folly. She raises an eyebrow. I looked outside. I mean, the rats. Hong Kong isn't experiencing a rodent shortage or anything. I mean, why these two rats? So you just pick them up off the street? Yep, think of them as rescue vermin. You could probably do the same if you wanted to. It's easy. Just walk into an alleyway, Kowloon after sundown, and stick your hand into the first dumpster or storm drain. You come across, keep fishing around until you touch fur. Sounds like a really bad idea. Yeah, in retrospect, it might have been. She continues to brush Folly's coat. The creature chirps happily at her touch. Odds are about 50-50 that you'd get your hand chewed off. Probably feel bad about that. Shouts for a while, alright. She dips her chin a long time. Started when I was just a kid. You're still a kid now, Gobbet. What are you, 19? I mean, I guess you grow up fast. 19, she rolls her shoulders, shrugs, something like that. Your guess is as good as mine. It doesn't change the fact that I've been doing this for years, and you started yesterday. Matter of fact, Seattle, I think that I'm gonna make a project of you. Take you under my wing, so to speak. You need a wise inventor, might as well be me. Order a drink without a fake ID, alright. She smirks. Good thing we're not in Seattle then, but my point is still valid. You need to learn the basics, and I'm offering. So the next time you visit, I'm going to teach you all about being a Shadowrunner. You're going to benefit from my bountiful experience. Wait and see. I'll be looking forward to it. Gobbet stretches, stifles a yawn. Her rats scurry from her shoulders down to her hips. She taps the simmering pot on the floor with her boot. The soup inside has reduced down into a thick, viscous gravy. You know, Seattle, this has been a nice chat and all, but it's getting late, and I still have the rest of a hot pot to power through. So without wanting this to get awkward, you guys are there if you want it, alright? I'd help you that if you wanted. Thanks, but no thanks. Smirking, she brushes Folly's coat with the knuckles of her left hand. You go get your own food, and it'll be a good time, alright? Get it. Talk to you later, Gobbet. Yeah, we'll do that. It'll be fun. Whose cabin appears to be the only clean spot on the bolt hole. His equipment is neatly laid out on his bedding, grouped by type, arranged just so. He's currently in the process of cleaning his weapon with meticulous care. Well, that's that, I guess. We're runners now, yep. Yep, I think it's time to catch up. Could be. He stops for a moment, stares at his weapon in his hand. That's why I'm maintaining my equipment. It helps me focus my brain, work through stuff. This is as good as a time as any, I guess. Where do you want to start? Said you had one too, right? Yeah, yours sounded like a nasty one. I don't remember much about mine. It was pretty creeped out by our run into the walled city. Between that and all the drama, I'd be surprised if I didn't have a nightmare. Was the walled city in your dream? Of course, the walled city was in my dream. It was a nightmare, wasn't it? It was in your dream too, yeah. Sure looked like it, yeah. I'm not sure I'm surprised the walled city is more than just another slum and a sprawl. Hell, it is a sprawl. Of course we dreamed about it. The feeling I had there has stayed with me. It felt thick, heavy, and I got this overwhelming feeling of, I don't know, wretchedness, I guess. What about yours? Just little snatches of things. He puts his hands on his hips and concentrates. The walled city was breathing, and it had teeth everywhere. And there was a tunnel that was so bright that I had to shut my eyes, and Raymond was there. He was either kneeling or lying down. I can't remember which, but he was crying. That's what made me wake up, the sound of my father crying. The nightmares you've had. Takes his time, thinks about his answer a bit before he responds. You know how something you'll be mad at a friend in a dream and then wake up still mad at him? Then you treat him like he did something wrong when you see him? It kind of feels like that to me, like I dreamed I was swimming towards a bright light when I woke up. I was out of breath from the effort. So like something else. Alright. Want to talk about Raymond. Okay, shoot. What do you think's going on with him? I don't know, Ada. He was clearly obsessed with the walled city and whatever prosperity is. He sounds like a sleepwalker trying to stumble his way through a dream or something. A sleepwalker who hires Shadowrunners. Whatever he was doing, he knew it would be dangerous. Raymond was smart as hell. If he thought he needed runners to take him into that place, he needed them. Why do you think he came to Hong Kong? Well, he's from here, right? It sounds like he had unfinished business that he needed to take care of before you think he's dying, maybe. Just something to think about. Did he say anything about me after I left? You know, Raymond, Ada, he taught us what he wanted to teach us. Told us what he wanted us to know. Everything else was met with a wall of good-natured silence. He used to say, "You are the master of the unspoken word, Mr. Wu. Once it is out of your mouth, it is out of your control." All right. Words to live by, alright? So no, after you left, he never said a word about you. Not a word. So that's something else. It's about being Shadowrunners. What's there to say? I worked my ass off to pull myself out of the gutter. Make something of my life. I did what it took to earn my bronze, and now I'm a mercenary hiding in the shadows of a foreign country, doing dirty jobs that the corps need to keep off the books. It's the reverse of everything I ever wanted. You'd be taking it pretty damn well, so let me ask you something. Alright, what was I doing the whole past 8 years? You said you thought that Raymond was alive. Oh. 2. That we'd be in the shadows until we could figure out what happened to him. Was that true? About finding out what really happened to Raymond. Who nods, clearly satisfied. Good. We're on the same page. I feel better knowing that. Your opinion of Kindly Chang, it's not going to be good. I think she got us right where she wants us, right under her thumb. What do you want to talk about specifically? What do you think she wants from us? As long as her network keeps delivering information about Raymond, I don't care, at least for now. We just stay with her. We have no other connections in Hong Kong. Without her, we're dead in the water. You think we can trust her? Try a boss and underground fixer? No, I don't think we can trust her, but as long as we all share the same goals, we should be okay. Alright, she doesn't have a reason to screw us over. Makes sense. As long as we share her interests, she doesn't have a reason to screw us over. And this show, I feel like she's gonna fuck us over. Exactly, it's simple. She provides jobs, we do jobs, she gets info about Raymond and that plastic-faced man, and we figure out what the hell is going on. We figure out what's going on. She doesn't end up in the... she doesn't end up in the trunk of a car at the bottom of the river. Everybody wants to say, oh, he's confident that he can fuck her over. What about this plastic-faced man? Creepy dudes are nothing new to me. Even well-dressed creepy corporate dudes. Between the dangers we grew up with and the shit I've run into as a cop, I've seen all kinds. I just want to know who he is and who he works for. Strangler bow. We should keep an eye on everybody, and that guy is definitely no exception. I've seen plenty of cold killers in the Barrens and plenty more since I joined Lone Star. This guy's the real deal. I'm not sure if he knows what the word remorse even means. You should steer clear of him. Be careful. I can see that. Let's talk about something else. It's about Goblin and Isabel. They seem competent considering how young they are, but then again, they sound like they've been taking care of themselves since they were pretty young. 3 of us worked together well in the walled city. 3. Based on that, I bet the 4 of us would make a solid crew. Do you trust them? As far as I trust any runner, yeah. It's like Raymond used to say, trust and verify. They haven't given me a reason not to trust them, so until they do, I'll believe what they say and keep my eyes open. Let's talk later. Later's good. I want to do some cardio, work off some steam. That's rack time for me. You should do the same, mate. A couple hundred push-ups would do you good. Please, I could bust out 200 in my sleep. You raised an eyebrow. I'd love to see that sometime, but for now, you should clear out. I want to get started, and this cabin isn't big enough for 2. Mission computer. Your workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. Alright. Blinking message in the upper right corner. Notifies you have 6 unread messages. That's the Shadowrun BBS. Shadowrun connection established successfully. Link under been strong. Spoofing number equals 1. Group info equals null. Anon. Welcome to Shadowrun. Yeah, for sale. Dash data to escrow account. They will be automatically sold to the highest bidder. Both parties will remain anonymous on the transaction. Post the exotic animal dealer contacts. Active for 2 days. And keywords. Topics matching local keywords. Threat walled city. Got a courier job next week that's supposed to take me into the walled city. I'm from Kuala Lumpur, and I've never been to Hong Kong, but I hear this place is dangerous as hell. Is there anything I should know? Hantu Raya. Oh, you got nothing to worry about. It's just a low-cost housing development full of hard-working people. Here, take a look at this news report, Freedom Cowboy. A newscaster trade clip begins playing. This is Sunny Chung with Horizon News. On today's Sunny Side Up, the Kowloon walled city, a blight on the free enterprise zone, our low-cost housing for the economically disadvantaged, a blight on the free zone, or low-cost housing for the economically disadvantaged. We'll introduce you to some of the hardworking residents, how they live, and how they contribute to the growth and prosperity of our city. Montage sequence begins, showcasing the destitute poor of the walled city going about their daily lives. The shots have been carefully chosen, showing only smiling, productive residents. A stark contrast to your own experience inside it. Many residents of Hong Kong regard the walled city as a place of no return. To outsiders, it's the last stop on a long road to homelessness. Rumors abound of feral ghouls, unsafe living conditions, and triad extortion, yet when we went there, the reality was far different. Sure it was. What we saw will shock you. Citizens of Hong Kong, working and living together just like the rest of us. Their apartments are smaller and their shops more modest, but the people who live here wouldn't be out of place anywhere in the Fez. Citizens like shoemakers, Chao Sang Tsui. The scene cuts to an elderly man in a closet-sized stall filled with shoemaking equipment. He smiles broadly at the camera. That's completely not what we saw. Zhao Sang Tsui. Oh, I love it here. We have a he's getting paid to fucking say that. God damn it, is he getting paid to say that? Oh, I love it here. We have a community, you know? We're like family. Maybe we don't have as nice a view as you do in a Repulse Bay. Repulse Bay, alright. But I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's no paradise, no, but it's my home. I grew up here. How could I possibly leave? Jesus. The camera shifts back to Sunny Chung, who now stands in front of one of the entrances of the walled city. Contrary to popular opinion, the walled city serves a vital function. The poor and downtrodden find a home in the walled city, a community where they have a voice, can work, and even prosper, far from being the eyesore that the video suddenly stutters, freezes, and ends. Okay, I've decided to cut the rest of that crap. She keeps going on about what a good place the walled city is, and how we all need it. Don't buy any of it. It may not be hell, but you can see it from there. Freedom Cowboy's just trying to get you in trouble, Isabel. So how do you know the real story? Because I grew up there. You know what it's really like? It's eating old broth made from rat bones because there's nothing else. It's watching your neighbors sell their 5-year-old son to organ leggers so they don't starve to death, Isabel. When you die in the walled city, your neighbors cheer because they'll get the clothes off your back. I wouldn't wish the walled city on my worst enemy, Isabel. Some more posts in this thread, alright. Thread missed connections. Thread terrorists in Hong Kong. Connections. You rappelling down the side of an unnamed luxury hotel in a ball gown on Monday night. Me admiring the view from the 28th floor urinals during a private soiree for an unnamed corporation that I was infiltrating. Our eyes met briefly before you dropped out of your sight. Your long dark hair had come loose from your chignon, framing your beautiful flush face. I will never forget it. You were carrying a duffel bag bulging with stolen prototype weaponry. Well, I filched the intel that goes with it. Can we connect? Blackjack. Very funny, Blackjack. I'm sorry the job went sideways. I got trapped and had only one way out. Red Queen. You were supposed to have each other's backs. Just wait till you hear the way out that I had to take. Blackjack, you went to the toilet. We gotta lay low for now, and why are we posting about this on a public message board, Red Queen? You didn't have to respond. No more posts in this thread. Terrorists in Hong Kong. Been hearing some buzz about some mainlander terrorists that showed up in Victoria Harbor that had a shootout with the HKPF the other day. Anyone heard anything on that? Dongjiang? Ming Pao said there were 4. Wait, I thought this was the 2060s. Why does it say 56? Ming Pao said there were 4 of them that got away. 3 orcs and a dwarf. A troll, an elf, and a human were all killed on the scene. Oh, that's cool that they, like, kept in mind, like, what your thing was, so. An elf and a human were all killed on the scene. Word is that they're some kind of terrorist cell, and they're here to strike at the Executive Council. Looks like there's a 50k reward for any information leading to their capture. The HKPF. He was pretty nervous about letting these bastards walk freely around the streets. Evan shot. Kylie could totally sell us out. Unless we can actually make up. She'll probably make as much money off of us as she can and then sell us. You think that'd actually pay out to somebody like us? Not a chance. You walk in there to claim the reward, you're getting thrown in a hole with them. Alright. There's not a chance. The EPF doesn't keep promises to the sinless. Alright. Freedom Cowboy. Couldn't hurt to try. Why'd you have to be such a downer, Heaven shot? Because I know the police. They're all dirty. They only live in it to protect their paychecks. They don't give a damn about anybody else. Believe me, I'm just looking out for your best interests. Freedom Cowboy. Right. Like you and your triad looked out for my brother. You know he's still paying for his reconstructive surgery, you bastard. Dongjiang. If a man wants to keep his teeth, he should pay what he owes rather than pull a gun on me. Simple as that, Freedom Cowboy. And we're posting this thread Poetry Slam. Ladies and gentlemen, poets and Shadowrunners, welcome to the first annual Shadowland Poetry Slam. There are no rules. There are also no prizes except bragging rights. With no further ado, let the versification begin. Matrix Bard. How long do you think we can keep this going before the trolls show up? Or a sysadmin shuts us down? Jive Bert. Why would they shut us down? It's a free board. We can be poetic if we want to. 10 ones on Tennyson, alright. Just trust me, it happens. For some reason, these things always draw the worst out of sort of attention, Jive Bert. Are you going to give us a poem, or are you going to stand around complaining about why you can't, Matrix Bard? Alright, I've got one. Wait for it, Jive Bird. Synth, muscle, smart links, neural boosters, cyber limbs. All fall to grenades. Huh. Damn. A little musings on the transience of life in the shadows. Very nice, sir, Matrix Bard. When the long shadows fall on Hong Kong, neon lights pierce the coming night. Tread with me, the velvet blackness. Let no lamp shine on our deeds. Tennyson. That one's entitled Our Hour, Tennyson. Might just have been the most pompous thing I've ever heard. Try this on for size. Lasers are red, shadows are black. With mad on the street, you best watch your back. Now you're mad. My poem wasn't pompous, you uncultivated rube. It was a homage to Wang Wei, the famous Tang Dynasty master of the Juju form of poetry. It's traditional, unlike the ridiculous limerick that you posted, Tennyson. Now, I don't think you have to take the word slam quite so literally, Matrix Bard. Hey, you people know the rules. Poetry slams have been out of bounds on this BBS since the Laughing Man debacle of 55. You ought to sing your fancy words, do it on a different forum. I'm shutting this thread down, sysop. Told you, Jive Bird. Go back. Okay. Messages. 600 messages. Mail. Welcome to Haoi. From Conley Chang to Shik. Welcome to Haoi Shik. On behalf of your friends at the Haoi Chamber of Commerce and the Swift Winds Mahjong Parlor, I welcome you to the community of Haoi and to our new business venture. I've already lined up 3 jobs for you. The details of each are contained in separate computer messages. Remember to check your messages often, as I will update you with new opportunities as they occur. RTC. You have 500 messages. Mainly your mission computer. From Isabel to Shik, subject your mission computer. Hey Shik, I've set up your message computer to automatically collate news reports, information, and media that might be of interest to you. Some of the keywords that I've got it trolling for are things like Raymond, Duncan, Walled City, etc., etc. I've also patched in a permanent link up to the Hong Kong shard on the Shadowland BBS. It's a great place to connect with other runners, sell pay data, get news from the street, and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. Smell, right? Resources from Bao Jianjun to Shik, subject resources. I have been instructed to inform you of the various suppliers present in Haoi. Ante Cheng has cultivated a commercial district of well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you will be in good hands. Ermine Kai-Fi at Club 88 is an excellent resource for acquiring additional weapons, should you require any. If you are in need of magical supplies, go to the Parlor of 5 Phases. If you desire training in the path of the adept, seek out Spider Shen. She can help you, as well as supply you with any close-quarters weapons you might desire. Chrome Alley can supply with cybernetic enhancements and medical supplies. Proprietor 10-Armed Ambrose is a cyber surgeon of some repute. Law's Techno Palace is a Wampoan-run supplier of the local decking community. The place is hard to miss, so just look at a sign glowing in the sky. The drones, reliable Matthews Robot Bazaar is your best bet, and I pity you. Best of luck in the shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely to need it. Strangler bow. You have 3 unread messages. Male serial killer. I'm kindly Cheng to Shik, subject serial killer. I've got a problem, Shik, and you're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of businesses with the Wampoans. If you're not familiar with them, I'll forgive you. You are an outsider after all. The Wampoans are a tribe of techno-fetishists and deckers who've taken up residence in the Wampoa Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods to people from all over the world. A lot of new yen passes through their pasty little fingers, and I make a lot of money brokering deals between them and the smugglers here in Haoi. I've hit a snag, though. The Wampoan elders, their council of leaders are being eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of it and stop the killings, and they're not taking their goods through my turf until I do. So you're going to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, but I need those murders stopped. The Wampoans have a delegate here in Haoi by the name of Maximum Law. Speak with him if you wish to know about Wampoa. He's got a big mouth, but he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much of than that half-empty bottle of vinegar. Interesting phrase. Get your ass down to Wampoa Garden and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat, and steal if you have to, so long as they've convinced that there won't be any more murders. I want my cut back, and I want it soon. I'll take the run. Kindly Cheng to Shik. So are you serial killer? Good. I'll tell the elders you're coming. They don't like outsiders. They might shoot at you if you don't warn them you'll be arriving. We're going back to route. Mail, forward artifact liberation. From Kylie Cheng to Shik, subject forward artifact liberation. Welcome to the Shadow, Shik. I've received a request from an archaeologist named Mr. Drake. He's interested in liberating certain artifacts from beneath a manor house located in Tai Po. I've attached a copy of the video message that he sent me. The screen flickers a few times and the email is replaced with the face of a stern-looking orc. Hello, Madam Cheng. I've heard that you're a woman who knows how to get things done, especially with regards to things that aren't legal in the strictest sense. That's exactly the kind of help I'm looking for. Recently, a rich investor by the name of Liu Hua decided to expand his manor house on the outskirts of Tai Po. Too much money, not enough space for fancy parties. He had a snag with local government officials. However, they suspected the land his estate was built on may have pre-modern archaeological artifacts buried beneath it, all of them dating from the Song Dynasty. Consequently, I was contracted as an archaeologist to oversee the excavation and ensure everything was properly recorded and cataloged. Sure enough, we were only a few days into the excavation when we discovered a series of tombs lying beneath the site. The scope of the tombs was far beyond anything Liu or I had expected. Several acres of catacombs, at least, and untouched relics throughout. What's more, they're certainly older than the Song Dynasty. They might even be from the previous cycle of magic. Before I could make my report to the Free Enterprise Zone Authority, however, Liu called in his allies in Tantien Incorporated. Yu sold the entire site to Tantien, who then leased it back to him. Because Tantien is considered to have extraterritoriality in Hong Kong, local authorities were powerless to stop Liu from looting the tombs. He immediately began building a museum, if you can call it that, atop the site. He had the gall to call his museum the Emperor's Tomb. Can you believe that? The odds of there being an actual emperor buried there are basically nil, but he doesn't care, anything to sell a few tickets. Liu has continued his excavations using Tantien contractors to expand the dig. What he didn't know is that I bugged his comlink before he fired me. Based on what I've heard, something strange is going on in the lower levels. Workers have been disappearing, only to be found dead several days later. Whatever's down there is too dangerous to be left in Liu's hands. Liu must have found my data line tapped, though I stopped receiving any information 3 days ago. The last thing I heard him talking about were a pair of ancient texts that workers had discovered. Then he issued an order that further excavation should be halted until he can secure the subterranean areas. I'm betting those texts are the cause of whatever's killing the workers. I have quite a bit of experience with these kinds of with dangerous excavations, but an operation of this scale is beyond me. I need a team that's tough enough to get in and survive, aren't afraid of making a mess, and who can get out with the books and whatever else they can carry. Beyond the 2 texts, I'm willing to pay very well for whatever other artifacts your team can liberate. The more valuable, the better. Don't worry, they'll be going to actual museums, not some rich playboy's mansion. I've got a second program in place that'll suppress Leo's security system. The team will have to be careful, though. There are only so many alarms I can suppress, but go beyond that number, and I'll scrub the mission. Alright. Hacking heavy. I might as well try and get good, I guess. I have to be careful. I've included a catalog of likely items to help the team apprise the most valuable ones. They don't need to be subtle. In fact, I prefer they make it look like a common robbery. Tell them to smash and grab what they can. Let me know what you find. Also, a group of Shadowrunners. Alright. There you have it, a nice simple robbery. Do you think you can handle something that basic, dear? I have faith in you. Let me know when you're ready to proceed. I'll contact Mr. Drake when you're on your way. Take the run. From kindly to Shake, subject already forward. Excellent. I've attached directions to Leo's estate to this message. Good luck, don't fuck it up. Back to route. Geomantic sabotage. From Kaliming to Shik, subject geomantic sabotage. Geomancy is big business in the free enterprise zone. Here in Hong Kong, feng shui isn't just the act of rearranging your kitchen to make things look pretty. The fortunes of empires rise and fall within the ebb and flow of qi, and sometimes that flow needs a helping hand. Wuxing Incorporated are the preeminent practitioners of large-scale qi manipulation here in the free enterprise zone. They've gone to great lengths to equip qi. Links to channel qi from all over Hong Kong into their headquarters, an enormous monstrosity that they call the Wuxing Sky Tower. There it is focused and transformed into good fortune through the building's geomantically attuned architecture and interior decoration. Our client believes that it's time for Wuxing's good luck to run out. You are to infiltrate the Sky Tower and disrupt the flow of qi throughout the building, but you are to do so in 2 distinct fashions. First, you must disrupt the feng shui of the offices by subtly altering the environment of that level. This will consist of minor adjustments of desks, spilled water, and other small activities that are unlikely to be noticed. Ordinarily, even subtle disturbances of this nature wouldn't be noticed. This is why the client wishes you to make a much louder demonstrations on the rooftop garden. The garden is to be ransacked, utterly destroyed, set fire to things, uproot trees, that kind of thing. Our client has also specified that he would like you to destroy the large Buddhist statue in the garden, smash the thing to bits, and leave them scattered across the rooftops. This level of destruction will keep Wuxing's geomancers busy long enough that the more subtle disruptions below will take effect. In addition, it will send the kind of message our client would like Wuxing to hear. I have utmost faith in your ability to cause destruction. The more disruption you can cause on both levels of the Sky Tower, the happier the client will be. As you're not a spellcaster yourself, it may be wise to bring Gobbet along. She will be able to see the most effective way to disrupt the qi of the building. Take the run. From kindly Shake subject geometric sabotage. Good. Contact me when you finish the job, and I'll send your cut of the payment. So on the message, you go back. Alright. We've spoken enough for one day, my friend. At the wonder if I can talk to this guy to give with the, because he's associated with the Wampoa guys, so. Right. Yo, you're back. Probably got what you need. Just remember, you're in Wampoa here. Okay. Tell me about Wampoa. We're pretty much the best, yo. What do you want to know? La folds his arms impatiently, as if he's irritated by your request, but he can't quite stifle a proud grin. All right. Understand somebody's killing your elders. His face goes grim, a red light blinks on the VR goggles, a lens was quietly focusing in on you. He grinds his teeth, audibly radiating nervousness and intensity. Yeah, shit's crazy, full-on medieval. I can't talk about it, it's a tribal matter. Controlled information, right? We're gonna solve it, that's all outsiders need to know. Stop the murders. Actually, I've been contracted to help the elders stop the murders. Wow, really? We're pulling in outsiders? He shakes his head in disbelief. Well, I should have seen that coming. What the hell are you doing here? Go to the garden and help stop that shit. Then come back and tell me what's going on. Everybody's guessing. The elders are being quiet and the rumor hub is going crazy. Then about the tribe generally. Who are you guys? I think the Wampoa the serial killer / assassinations are probably a priority. No, smirks. You really are new to the Kong, aren't you? We're the Neo Matrix Collective. We run the Hong Kong Data Haven and the Kong Shadownuts. We are the Kong Shadownuts. Outside the corporate nets and the rest of the Kong, and in those shadows, you will find threads of golden light like a vast spider web that carry information. Those golden threads in that web is Wampoa. Okay. Now it gives a curt viral nod. My buddy Red Storm wrote that. Pretty wicked, huh? Anyway, we're bleeding edge on the path to the singularity. We're doing things that no one else is doing anywhere except maybe Denver or Tokyo. Our homeland is the Matrix, and we're building a society of truth and expertise and information. Is that tribal? I am more outspoken, yo. I don't need the meat space rituals. Modesty is inefficient. He shrugs dismissively. Is that a Wampoan thing? For those of us who are most dialed, maybe we're post-cultural. Okay. Law sweeps his hand around, gesturing at the surroundings. I hardly see any of this meat space. Our meat space headquarters is a big 20th century ship. That's totally awesome. Whatever, it's just meat space. Right. Wampoa is bleeding edge on the path to becoming the singularity, and in that singularity, there's going to be nothing but straight-up truth. Law punches his fist down at the ground, striking a majestic pose like a Tradio barbarian. Boom, truth. This guy reminds me of Zell from FF8. Doing a kind of cover your lives, and what am I doing here? Law seems shocked at the question. I'm an ambassador. I broker Wampoa services to Haoi. Emissaries like me are all over Hong Kong, tying it together in an invisible network. Alright. So you're working with Kindly doing tech for the Yellow Lotus? Well, I do some work directly with Kindly, but my focus is more at the street level. We're all part of a big machine, each piece playing its critical role. Machinery. Is this so with any highly evolved machine? Exactly, that's why nobody messes with Wampoa. Boom. Any technical services are Hong Kong's poor? Sure we do. We're in pirate networks. Our services are way more than most ordinary people want, though. You get prepaid bandwidth with a corporate carrier for fractions of New Yen, but you're selling your soul. They monitor it. Right? If you want to operate unmonitored by corporate algorithms, you've got to fly through the Wampoa network. It's the only place to be. Right? We do tech for anyone in the Kong. Outside the corporate umbrellas, anyone can use our networks if they pass our vetting and can Pay for what we bring. Law speaks with a shred of irony. It's mostly the extra legal element that needs our skill. We tech for anyone. The extra legal element that needs our skill. Outsiders don't understand as maybe you can if you're really smart. We're in a whole different world than most people. Like, I'm seeing 3 streaming videos and live network stats in my goggles right now, okay? But you can't focus on any of it. Time's wasting shit. You wanna have something? Alright. Yeah, okay, that's the subway. Alright. Despite not actually going on any missions, I feel like this video's gone on long enough. Pick up next time.